Sir, so Mr. Arun Jaitley, at the time of demonetization, when 2000 was coming in, had said that this is a stopgap arrangement because a high denomination like rupees 2000, there always will be problems of integrity of a currency of that because of that currency. Is it still a belief in the RBI and the government that high denominations should technically be avoided?
You see, man, just as I explained, these notes were primarily issued to replenish the currency, what you call remonetization. That purpose has been fulfilled. Now, what you say, what you have just pointed out is right. I mean, when you have our high value notes, these 2000 rupee notes or even 500 rupee notes, so far, their security features have not been breached, not been compromised. Market में the so-called fake currency which you are seeing, most of it is actually sophisticated photocopying. Security features of these high-value currency notes have not been breached. But I mean, in any system there are always efforts. Most of the efforts, it was seen earlier, they take place outside the country to breach the security features and to sort of inject fake currency into the system. So a high-value note is always prone to, it always is susceptible or vulnerable to efforts on the part of fraudsters to try and clone. So that is a fact, I mean. But this time around, our decision is mainly driven by a need to ensure clean note policy. Please.
That is close to the 2014 exercise in which the old notes of 2005 are withdrawn. Is it a similar exercise?
It's a similar exercise. You have said that.
So will the large cash deposits be the part of the scrutiny of the RBI as well, or will there be any cash limit to that when people will go and...
देखिए, RBI तो कोई scrutinize नहीं करता है. बाकी जो एजेंसीज है इनकम टैक्स वगैरह हो वो तो अपना नॉर्मल प्रोसीजर फॉलो करेंगे. जैसे मैंने कहा कि वो 50,000 के ऊपर कोई अगर टैक्स होता है तो वो तो अदर एजेंसीज के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है वो क्या करते हैं. लेकिन आरबीआई के तरफ से हम ऐसे मतलब किसने कैश ये किया, हम आरबीआई के तरफ से नहीं उसको नहीं करते हैं. जैसे आपको पता होगा बैंकों का एक रिपोर्टिंग सिस्टम है जिसको सीटीआर एसटीआर वगैरह कहते हैं, आपको सबको पता है, वो तो मॉनिटर करते हैं.
Sir, there are reports that some bank ATMs still have 2,000 rupee note. So are banks being asked to withdraw those?
देखिए, बैंकों में most of the banks, because the demand was not in the market, the demand was not for 2,000 rupee notes. So taking into account the demand in the market, demand from customers, most of the banks have modified most of their ATMs. Some places here and there they may be having 2,000 rupee notes still being given in the in the ATMs. The banks will have to modify that. Yeah.
So last time when the demonetization had happened, the proposal was moved by the government. So this time, and like we've discussed that earlier as well, this whole denomination was introduced to replenish the system. So was this also proposed by the government or this was RBI's?
No, ये सब internal processes, so these are not valid questions in which the public is interested. These are procedural. मैं आता हूँ. Yeah, Sapna.
Sir, two questions. So you have explained in detail in your press release as well as in your quotes today what's the intention behind the phasing out. But still some people, still this question arises in our minds, sir, that was this really required? Let me ask my question so that you can answer. Like, was this really required in the sense that when the circulation has already fallen from its peak of 37% to under 11%, people are not using it?
No, that's a view. I mean, I understand what you are saying. That's a viewpoint. No, that's a viewpoint. The question of timing can be raised at any point of time. Why did you do now? Why not later? If you do later, why are you doing now? Why not earlier? So timing is a matter of, I think it's not it's not really relevant. And with regard to the other part you said.
And secondly, sir, also, this question arises that with these kind of moves, maybe a kind of a question arises in people's minds that is our currency management system absolutely credible?
Indian currency management system is very robust. Our exchange rate is among the least volatile among our peer countries. vis-a-vis the dollar. Normally we see the exchange rate against the dollar. अब डॉलर के हिसाब से देखेंगे तो रुपये का जो exchange rate है, it has remained stable despite the crisis of, crisis in the international financial markets created due to the war in Ukraine, the failure of certain banks in advanced economies. Indian currency system, Indian exchange system, that is exchange of our currency, the exchange rate, market exchange rate of our currency is very stable. Indian currency management is very robust, and I just pointed out that the security features of this new Mahatma Gandhi series notes have not been breached.